Okay, so I'm going to show you basically how I did these two different patterns that we can work with in LibreCAD. And again, both of these are set up with different colors since the laser cutter will be able to recognize the color. And then we can use that color to describe a particular pattern or behavior for the laser, the speed in which it travels, the intensity which it runs. I'll probably do two different videos and try to keep them quick. And let's start first with this sort of simple one here with a repeating pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new sketch. Okay, and to start off with, I'm going to start with a circle, and I want it to be, these are going to be coaster size, so I'm going to make it 100 millimeters across, 10 centimeters. And to do that, I'm going to select the circle tool. I'm going to take a circle and a point. I'm going to have my grid snap on, so it'll snap to grid, and I'm going to just click right here. And again, with LibreCAD, you can actually drag it out, of course, but I can also just type in 50, which is the radius, and hit enter, and then right click, and there you go. Now I've got a 100 millimeter circle. Okay, so now let's work on putting some patterns in it. So to do that, I'm going to use the well, let's do one thing first. Let's create a new layer so we can have a place that we can draw on and then hide the existing drawing or not worry about damaging our original work. So I'm going to do that by going over here. I'm going to click add a layer, and I think I'll call this the I'll just call it layer 1. I'll call it layer 1, and I think I'll make this first one magenta and say OK. Alright, so now I'm working in layer 1. You can see it's in bold. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab a spline and I'm going to go a spline through points. Alright, currently I'm on snap to grid. So I'm going to start right here and I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a pattern. I'm going to avoid the center in part because if I go through the center and I revolve it, when I hit it repetitively with a laser, it'll actually kind of burn a hole. And I want to make contact to the outer edge, so I'm going to go down here and select the Snap to Entity tool, unclick my grid, and that gives me security to make sure that that line clicks on my circle. Okay, so I'm going to stick it, I don't know, right there. And right click, and now I've got my magenta line. Alright, so let's make a bunch of these real quick. So I'm going to hit escape and I'm going to select my line. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go with rotate. And now I want to get my snap back on so I can snap into the center. So I'm going to snap back on grid and I'm going to snap in the center. I now need to grab some sort of reference point where I can drag it. It can be anywhere, honestly, but I tend to grab something close to the top or something close to the end point. So I'll go right there. And I just drag it some distance. It doesn't even matter. I can throw it anywhere. I'm going to throw it there. Okay? Because ultimately I want this screen. And so we know it's 360 degrees all the way around. A simple way to do it would be to just say, let's go every 10 degrees. Oops, every 10 degrees. In which case, if we're doing every 10 degrees, we'd have a total of 36. But we already have 1, so we actually need 35 more. So if I do that, boom, and you can see I've got my cool sort of pattern. Let's do one more. Let's do something in yellow. So I'm going to come up here again. I could draw it on here, but I'm just going to play it safe and create another layer. And I'll call this one layer 2, and I'm going to make it yellow. Yellow. Okay. Once again, I think I'm going to go through splining. I'm going to spline through points. I'm on grid. I'll start the same basic place. I think I'll go the other direction. And I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna stick it like, I don't know. Let's do something like, I'll bring it down here. Okay, I could actually turn this off. I can go with a free Let's do something like that. So now I don't have any snaps. I'm just going to click right there. Okay, and let go of it. Alright, and let's repeat the same process. I need to select this line. I'm going to go to rotate. I'm going to turn my snap back on. So I want to snap right on the center. I'm going to grab some sort of reference point, and I'm just going to turn it some distance, like so. And in this case, why don't we make it really dense in the yellow? So let's make it go every 5 degrees, in which case it would be 72, but we already have 1, so we need 71. And let's give it a go. And there you have it. Okay, so now we could take this to the laser cutter and set the various speeds and intensities for the magenta and yellow, and etch those lines in, and then of course finally set the speed and intensity for the outer ring and to cut that all out. So that being said, this video is only 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm going to end this one, and then I'll show you how I did the other one. So I'll see you in a little bit.